Welcome back everybody to another video. In this video we're going to be looking at how can you improve your credit score and how can you get your credit score to 800 plus. So the first thing that we need to look at is how is the credit score put together? What are the important things that we need to be looking at? So that's what I have up on the screen here. It gives us the breakdown of the FICO score. It's slightly different than the true credit score, but it gives us information to go on to start a conversation around this topic. But before we jump into this, one of the things that you may be wrestling with is how do I get credit in general? Maybe you're just starting off and you really you don't have a credit score at all. Your score is really low and you can't even get a credit card because your credit's super low. So a couple of things that you can do with this is to get a secured credit card, which is a credit card that will start earning you credit, but you're basically going to be having money set aside for that. To set aside for that amount. So there's a couple of companies out there that do stuff like that. I think Discover Card might do something with that. You can also look at getting a cosigner on a loan, or you can also, probably one of the easiest things you can do is have friends or family or somebody add you as an authorized user on their credit card. Now they can determine what the usage of that credit card would be, but if they add you as an authorized user, then that should report that card on your credit report. So that's actually a great way to be able to earn credit. It's basically that person saying, hey, I trust this person as an authorized user, and so you get to kind of share in that credit. But again, be careful with that. You need to then trust that person that they're paying for their card, because if somebody with bad credit card history adds you, then you get lumped into that same thing. So just a couple quick ideas for that. This video is not going to focus much on that, because we're going to jump into looking at the credit score and how do we improve this. I'm going to show you my actual credit score here. I use Mint to keep track with all my finances. So this is my current credit score, 810, and we'll be using this to kind of look at kind of what my account looks like versus what the percentages are, to kind of help give you an idea of what you might need to do to get to that 800 plus score. So the first two biggest things here is payment history and amount owed. Those two together are 65% of your score, the amount owed and your payment history. So the first thing, payment history, man, you've got to have excellent payment history. Making those payments on time, even if they're minimum payments, that's okay. But you got to be making those payments on time to get a 100% mark on your payment history. You don't want to be missing payments. You don't want things going to collections or anything like that. So get yourself 100% on-time payments. The great thing is, even if you have credit card debt, this is something you can get to, because again, you just need to make that minimum payment to not have a derogatory mark in that manner. Watch my other video on paying down your credit card debt. Super helpful stuff there, hopefully, as well. But again, we're just going to be focusing on improving your credit score in this video. And then that other big chunk, that 30%, was your credit usage. And I think this is one some people miss, is that if you have a credit card or multiple credit cards and you've got 10,000 available on one and 10,000 on another, and you're maxing those out to where your credit usage is 90, 100%, whatever those values are, that's going to hurt your credit, because creditors want to see that you have a lot of space, that you're not using all the credit that has been given to you. So on credit cards and things like that. So my current usage is 8%, and this doesn't make a big difference. I've seen sometimes this will go to 10 or 11%, and my score will drop quite a bit. It'll go down several points just from a couple percentage of movement with that credit usage. So that's a great way, as you're paying off debt, that will naturally improve your credit score, because your credit usage will be dropping as well. Then we have the length of your credit history is 15%. So this is going to be the average amount of how long you've had credit. So again, if you're just starting off, this is going to take time. Even with myself, having credit cards, all my life, the average age of my credit is only 7 years right now, and this is actually one of the areas that's just a good rating. It could be better here. That's just going to be over time. What's important to note with this, though, is you shouldn't close out old accounts. So if you are working to pay off debt, and you don't want that credit card sitting around, pay it off, get it to zero balance, cut it up, but leave the account open. Sometimes creditors will close your account after a certain amount of time. If you feel like if you get a notice that that's going to happen, what I do is I have a couple credit cards that I just put subscriptions on. So like Spotify will just get charged to one credit card each month. That keeps it active. The card may have a $10,000 credit limit on it. So that actually is very nice. So it keeps that credit line open so that the age of your credit is can continue to grow, and it gives you up here with the good credit utilization as well. Then you have some other areas here that affect your credit, new credit, credit mix, that's mixed into these things here. So your total accounts has impact into your credit score. You know, what's the total number of lines of credit that you have open? Generally, you know, you want to have a good amount open so that creditors see that you're trustworthy and able to manage multiple accounts. But again, that doesn't mean go out and open up 5 new credit cards, because the next thing, your credit inquiries, if you go out and open up 5 new credit cards, assuming you even get approved for them all, you're going to have 5 hard credit pulls on your account, and that's going to hurt your credit quite a bit. They don't really say in here where exactly that comes from. It's going to probably be maybe in one of those 10% things mixed in. But I will say having hard pulls on your credit inquiries can hurt. And as you get a certain amount of them, it can hurt even more. So you want to keep that minimal. Stay in your report for 2 years. So it is kind of one of those things that you want to pull credit when you need it, when it's helpful, when it makes financial sense for you. But you don't want to be doing it all the time, and you don't want to be pulling credit just to get more credit cards open if there's not a good reason for it. And then obviously derogatory marks, you don't want things like that on your account. If you do have anything marked on your account, you definitely need to get look into that and see what that was. Was it failure to pay something, bankruptcy? Just making sure your credit and your Social Security and all that is safe. So definitely make sure you're pulling your credit from somewhere so that you can be alerted to these things. Again, I use Mint to manage my finances and to an easy way to keep up with my credit score on that. So there you go. As far as improving your credit score, there's a lot to it, but then it's also really not too hard. Make your payments on time. Pay down your credit cards. A quick way you could get a boost to your credit is to go to one of your existing credit cards and request a credit line increase. Make sure that they will do that without pulling your credit. A lot of banks will. You'll just put in your annual income and request a limit increase, and sometimes they'll give you a couple extra $1,000 so that can give you a little more room in your credit report for that. Especially if you've just gotten a raise or something, you may be able to get more room in your credit, which would help your credit usage. Pay it on time, pay them down, keep the accounts open. Open accounts when it makes good financial sense for you, and you'll see your credit score rise with that. So hopefully this is helpful. Like I said, I've been above 800 for quite a while. It's currently sitting at this 810, and it's making sure my payments are on time, keeping that credit card usage down. When we paid off a lot of our debt and got that credit card usage manageable, that was a huge help to our credit score. And then hang on to those accounts. So if this was helpful, guys, appreciate a thumbs up from the video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. It all really helps me out. Check the description. I have some affiliate links and things out there that you might want to check out as well. And I will see you all in the next video.